Welcome to your Cochrane Right Now. This is a weekly podcast all about the best town in the world, Cochrane, Alberta. As always, my name's Eric Ruddle, here with Lauren Meister. And Lauren, some good news. Rush hour is a thing of the past in Cochrane. We will never have to wait in line or be stuck anywhere in town. Breaking
news. Never. Just because there's one new addition to the temporary traffic circle. So we actually haven't tested this theory though yet because it just opened. The new road opened this morning. So we don't actually know what it's going to be like during rush hour later on today just yet.
We lost a set of lights. So that set of lights, I think, was what broke everything. Now, everyone's just like free flowing. We've all had like 3 months to figure out a traffic circle. Mm-hmm. We all know what's going on. I've only almost died like 6 times this week from somebody sideswiping me.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's getting better. And truly, I think this is going to fix a lot of problems. I was coming down. My kids had sports last night, so I was going down to the SLS Center from Sunset. I saw that line. I was like, tomorrow, this is a thing of a past.
That's going to be a no longer thing. Yeah, I'm interested to see if it actually makes a difference. I do know that the traffic circle situation in Cochrane, people are still kind of getting the hang of it. I honestly think it's because we have so many new people coming to town all the time that the people who already live in Cochrane, we've already mastered the traffic circles. Because anybody who lives on the south side of Cochrane, we know that we have to go through like 15 circles all the time to get through every day. But it's the people on the other side of the town and all the new residents were like, whoa, we got a new traffic circle. What do I do here? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
And I think like here in Cochrane, we are the nicest people on the planet, right? So going to a 4-way stop can be a little bit complicated. Everybody's like, no, you go. No, you go. Same thing with the traffic circle. I feel like people want to like let people in instead of going. So maybe it's just that we're too nice.
Unless you get the guy with the big monster truck, then he's just giving her. He's going,
man. But it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, Friday rush hour is not usually that bad, but Monday on, and everybody's going to figure it out. No more rush hour in Cochrane.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, especially now that everything's starting to get a little bit back to normal. We learned most of the pathways are reopened in town after like a little bit of a leak somewhere.
Just a small smidgen little bit of a leak here in Cochrane. So I don't know if you know, because you were actually off work.
Yes.
Probably the biggest news story that has hit Cochrane I've lived in Cochrane for over 10 years. And I feel like this is probably the biggest overall news story that has hit this town. And thanks for your help for all of that, by the way.
Probably the first state of emergency since the flood.
Since the floods of 2013.
So 10 years.
Yeah.
And I was sitting at home, baby. I was just on a staycation. And we all got the same, like our phones were like, boo-doo, boo-doo, boo. And this was, Saturday?
It was Saturday night. Yeah. And I was kind of running around from like kids' hockey games to my daughter was having a sleepover and I was dropping things off at the sleepover and all over the place. And my phone was going nuts. And I was like, I went home, wrote the story up real quick. And anyway, everything just like went nutty from there. So that was Saturday night. Yeah. I think I wrote 3 stories that evening. Nice. Sunday, my goodness, nonstop updates. And I mean, I'm just speaking from the reporter stance of me. So I can't even imagine, all the people who are actually doing, real work, like the town staff and the people physically trying to fix the wastewater leak and whatnot. But so it was just Noel and I here at Cochrane now pushing out all of this information the whole time. You were off for a week and a half. And Noel and I were just laughing, thinking, you're probably at home playing video games.
Oh, yeah, it was great. Spider-Man 2 came out. I powered through it. But it was really interesting not to be in here to get like the newsy side of things because, I was just an everyday person. As soon as you were told don't have a shower, that's when you're like, oh, man. I need a shower right now. Oh, man, I really need to wash all my socks. I really wish I could. Right? Yeah. So it was just so interesting. Did you buy any bottles of water?
Yeah. Bought a few. Not a ton. Like a couple, flats of, bottled water. Like not anything crazy. Obviously, like we didn't lose water at our house. Went a couple days without showering. So Same thing. Felt a little... little, but you weren't here. It was just Noel and I work over here. He works over there.
No one could tell.
It worked. It probably in that sense, it worked out. I wasn't really working closely with anyone. But yeah, watching the laundry pile grow every single day. I do laundry every day at my house because it's probably one of my favorite household chores. No, I actually like laundry. I like seeing the laundry baskets empty. No, I do, because it's an easy chore. You're not actually doing anything. The machines do everything.
I have the house to come to for you.
I don't want to do other people's laundry, but it's a routine. I walk in the door, I throw laundry in, I just get her done because I don't like a pile of laundry. So not being able to do laundry for a couple of days, let me tell you, it was very, very difficult. And same with not doing dishes for a couple of days. That was difficult.
Oh, yeah. We loaded our dishwasher and then just let it sit, right? And
dirty dishes.
The kids are trained to be like, if there's no dishes in here, I'm going to open the dishwasher. Well, you'd open it and be like, the smell would get you. And it's just like, everyone was being like, hey, could we just turn it on? It's just one load. It's just one shower. But we held, we did. I
followed the rules.
I followed the rules because, you'd hate to be in the middle of the shower. And that's just when it's like, boop. No more water for you.
Well, and I think that was a lot of people's concerns because, we just didn't know, right? You heard about people learning that their water was turned off because they got a knock on their door. Yeah. So no one really knew kind of in the early days there whether or not that was going to happen. Thankfully, very few residents actually lost water. But it was cool to see how innovative people were, grabbing snow and boiling snow, even people baking with boiled snow and stuff. Did you guys do anything cool like that?
No. It was just, hey, kids, we're not going to have baths. Oh, yay! Right? All right. And honestly, it was pretty easy, but just because I wasn't working, right?
Yeah.
So I was just hanging out.
So you were fine with being kind of stinky there for a couple days?
I wasn't showering anyway, but it's crazy to see how long-lasting this has been because to a lot of people, they fixed it. They fixed the pipe. You can use water again. Okay, it's over.
Yeah. If
you look at Riverfront Park, she's not over yet.
Oh, there's still a lot of things happening over there. I mean, Riverfront Park itself is still closed. There's construction vehicles there. The pathway right there is still shut down. So lots happening.
Do you think there'll be any upgrades to Riverfront Park? Like that park, the playgrounds, it's okay. It's a mid-tier playground here in town, I'd say. No.
It just depends. My kids really liked it when they were a little bit younger. So I think it just depends on, and it's great for fire pits and great for picnics, that kind of stuff. But as far as the playground, it's not it doesn't have the high, monkey bars, that kind of stuff. It's more natural. Upgrades. I don't know if the playground was damaged though. So I don't.
All I see is so many workers and vehicles over there. That is as much as I
don't know. As far as I know, things weren't damaged unless they were damaged from the leakage situation. And everything was natural there, so maybe the seepage and the leakage, and I don't know. It's hard to say. I haven't been over there.
It was almost nice that the water issue took the spotlight away from the other issue, which was seepage into
That's
the
a really
river.
Gross word.
The pathways are open. If you go too close to the river and you know how some of the rocks, are you going to find a surprise down there?
I don't know. Well, and especially now because right when this happened, we were under a snowfall warning. So was there enough snow to kind of lock things down?
Or, how sometimes people don't pick up after their dogs and there's a snowfall. So you find it in the spring. Is it going to be the spring melting Cochrane? And we're gonna,
a Cochrane surprise.
Let's move
Oh my
on.
goodness. I didn't think about that. I don't know. Yeah. I'm hoping with the higher spring water levels, it'll help. Things to Calgary.
Yeah, exactly. Go down to Calgary. So that'll be the thing. If you see something, just boop, off to Calgary you go. Gross.
Yeah.
Switching topics here. Don't have a smooth transition for this one, but it's pretty cool. The amazing athletes we have here in Cochrane. One of them, Cody Madchuk. So he is X game medalist. He was at the Stampede doing flips on his motocross bike. He does wingsuiting, and I know it's shocking, but he hurt himself.
I know. It is a shocker. It's very low risk sports that he does.
Yeah, so are you still picturing the river, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it was actually crazy because we saw a video of him performing down in the States, and he was on his motocross bike, takes a jump, he lands, and he doesn't land on his seat. He landed on his tire, and the tire sucked him up.
It's kind of like a treadmill. He kind of got sucked between his tire and the fender of the top of the bike and sucked right underneath there.
And he broke his back.
He broke his back, which is like when you hear that, you think, oh my goodness, like you're done, like you're not riding again.
But 6 weeks later?
6 weeks in one day.
6 weeks, one day. He was back on his motocross bike. We got to talk to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I couldn't do much. Like I had to do lame sports like golf."
Yeah,
like
I couldn't do anything extreme. The only thing that didn't hurt my back was golfing because of the rotation. It didn't hurt my back. And you and I are like, I get sore from golfing.
Exactly. If I broke my back, I like. It'd just be over. I'd never be walking again. I'd always complain. You'd be so annoyed. But he is a trooper, and it was really cool talking to him because athletes like that are go, 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 go. So when you are forced to stop, he said, you have to get in the right mind space. And honestly, if your kids ever got hurt or maybe you have an athlete in your life, Cody said he'd be down to chat with them and how he persevered through it, and I think that's really, really cool.
It was pretty cool because he just said that like obviously in the moment it was really overwhelming thinking about the recovery process, but he made the small goals. He was thinking about it one day at a time, and he worked with different people to work towards that recovery process and whatnot, but just doing all of that and having the right mindset, that's kind of what set him on the right path. But 6 weeks and a day, and then he was performing at Monster Jam in Vancouver. Like, isn't that crazy?
He had tire marks embedded in his back. That's how bad it was. And it's just 6 weeks.
He should get that tattooed on his back.
Just down his back.
Yeah, like just to remember that.
And of course, it's just past Halloween now, which means we are in the Remembrance Day stretch. A ton of volunteers, a ton of veterans, all about Cochrane. But it's really cool to see the advancements in poppies here in town, because we ran into some ladies at Walmart, actually, and they were selling like accessories for your poppy.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So not only can you get your poppy, you can also get like the fancy poppy pin, which they informed us that yes, there's been poppy pins that you can put in your poppy to keep your poppy on. That's been around for a few years, but they have now perfected the poppy pin. So like this baby's not coming off. Like this thing's stuck on there, as long as you want it stuck on there, which is really, really cool. But you can also get different types of poppy pins to put onto your shirt or your jacket. You can also get wristbands, and there's even a First Nations poppy pin as well, which was really cool. It's got like an Inukshuk and some feathers on it. And so just tons of different options and ways to support the Legion. But then you blew my mind this morning with the poppy.
Yes, so there is a way you can actually scan your poppy, and every poppy has a story behind it, apparently. So this one is called poppystories.ca. It's just a website. You open it up on your phone, and it just says scan it. So you point it at your chest or wherever you have your poppy, and it will tell you a story of a veteran, whether
so cool.
It's somebody who fought in the past or maybe a current veteran. But it's not just like a simple like, oh, this person did this. No, like it's a full story of their life and their families, their friends, where they fought, what they did. And honestly, it is just like good on the Legion, because this will bring in a whole nother generation into the education part of things.
Yeah, oh, totally. And you can just learn about different Canadians, different people of the history, right? Yeah. So such a cool idea. And also, how did they do that? How can they do that?
Like, what does it scan? The wrinkles? Like, are every poppy different in some way? I don't know.
It's kind of like your fingerprint.
Yeah, there
right?
you go. Snowflake poppies,
Yes.
like they're all different in slightly different ways.
That's so cool.
It is very
so cool.
And I want, like, Cochrane, we are one of the best communities for a Remembrance Day ceremony. I've really found that our ceremony that we hold here in Cochrane is very, very well done.
Mm-hmm. It really is. Yeah, no, for sure. They, cater to everyone of all ages, and it's pretty cool. And it's pretty cool too, because every year they kind of have switched it up. They used to do a march down the hill from Cochrane High. I'm not sure if they do that, if they are doing that or not this year, but and it's cool too because kids from different schools are always involved too, so they're bringing the younger generation to be involved as well.
Yeah, and seeing what the schools are doing, like I know my kids, they're learning songs and all that stuff, so it's very important and cool that they keep this going for new generations and keep evolving, like our super fancy poppies that you can scan.
Totally. Anything to kind of keep the younger generation engaged, right?
Yeah. So that's everything going on in Cochrane right now. You can grab this podcast on all your favorite services. And until next week, talk to you again soon.